Hello, my name is Anthony, the creator of Whisper Grove. This level is an outpost mission as seen in previous Far Cry games, where you, the player, must eliminate all the enemies within the outpost by either going slow and stealthy or going fast and aggressive. The choice is yours. When starting, you are given two different loadouts. One that focuses on an aggressive approach, while the other centers around stealth. In the aggressive loadout, that are known as the assault loadout, you're given the following: a M60 machine gun, SPAS 12 shotgun, MVP 50 sniper rifle, M79 grenade launcher, a bolted pipe, 3 remote explosives, 2 grenades, 2 things of dynamite, and 3 medkits. The stealth loadout offers a silenced Vector submachine gun, a silenced 308 carbine sniper, a combat bow, silenced P226 handgun, spike bat, 3 remote explosives, 3 throwing knives, 3 smoke grenades, and 2 medkits. In addition, both loadouts contain binoculars, a parachute, grapple, body armor, and start with limited ammo. More body armor and ammo can be found throughout the outpost and nearby areas. After choosing the preferred loadout, players are given 3 paths to choose from, each offering a different gameplay perspective. The first of which is a dirt path that stems as the recommended route, hence the lit streetlights. Players who take this path will encounter 2 enemies that are easy to eliminate. After successfully eliminating both enemies, players are rewarded with a high vantage point overlooking the outpost, a quick way down using the grapple, and easy access to the lake. Players can also parachute into the outpost itself. This path is recommended for any players unfamiliar with the Far Cry mechanics. The second path is a main road that is a direct approach to the outpost. This path does allow for fast transportation with the ATV, but gives the least amount of information and can make for easy detection. Additionally, it does provide a secondary high vantage point if seen by the player. This vantage point provides a different perspective on the outpost compared to the first high vantage point. The third and final path is to go through the forest. It does contain dangerous wildlife, but once passed and into the lake, players can access the whole area behind the outpost. Players can also work their way around to the secondary high vantage point if discovered. An important feature about any outpost in Far Cry is that it contains alarms. If activated by an enemy, reinforcements are then called and will arrive at the outpost. For the Whisper Grove outpost, reinforcements consist of a flamethrower enemy, armed helicopter, and 6 basic enemies who have access to an armed pickup truck. There are 3 alarms within this outpost, which can all be destroyed if done properly. For instance, 1 alarm can be destroyed from the first high vantage point, 2 alarms can be destroyed from the second high vantage point, and 1 alarm from the lake. When making the outpost itself, I want there to be a good variety of enemies and multiple entry points. This outpost contains several basic enemies with some special enemies like heavies, snipers, and then cult VIPs who have more health than basic enemies but less than heavy enemies. There are several ways into the outpost, first of which can be accessed from the first high vantage point. This includes a grapple that leads down to the outpost, a zip line leading to one of the buildings inside the outpost, and the cliffside leading to the lake. The lakeside, as expressed before, opens to the whole back portion of the outpost and allows for numerous stealth opportunities. Taking the grapple down opens up to an opening in the fence leading into the outpost. Instead of the fence, players can wrap around towards the front entrance or lakeside for more information. Taking the zipline to the opposing building is the final option from the first high vantage point. It's a quick route into the outpost, but can be very dangerous if not handled right. Taking the front entrance initially is the most dangerous since you have little information and not much cover to work with. It's available for players who think they are up for a challenge and can take on all the enemies within the outpost. The final entrance into the outpost is the zip line at the second high vantage point that leads to a building on the opposite side of the outpost, providing additional opportunities to the player. While the player is traversing the environment and works towards completing the level, there are numerous scripts being sent off to enhance the gameplay experience. First of which is a script that clears the fog when the player steps in the trigger zone. This is also paired with a script that starts music when the player enters a separate trigger zone. The next set of scripts are the most important because they involve the cult VIPs. When specifically the cult chemist VIP is killed, it will unspawn any control zone tied to the enemies, meaning that enemies constricted to a specific zone can now move freely in the world, and will rush towards the player if detected. Additionally, occult chemists can move freely from the start, so if the player gets detected, this enemy will search for the player outside the outpost. The next script is used to change the music whenever enemy reinforcements are called. The final script changes the music once again, but only if the assigned explosive barrel is destroyed. Thank you everyone who has played the level so far, I greatly appreciate it. You can play it yourself if you own Far Cry 5, then go to arcade mode and search for Whisper Grove. I believe the game is on sale now until like January 2nd, I believe. If you're a person who likes playing like custom maps and likes open world games that have a good story, I highly recommend Far Cry 5. Also, this is my final level design project of the year. I hope it shows how obsessed I am about pursuing this passion. I sacrifice so much time to get better because being a level designer is the thing I want more than anything. Happy New Year's and chase your dreams no matter what.